Plusieurs questions, mais je vais prendre l'opportunité de vous poser une question qui s'avère une préoccupation pour les résidents d'Outremont. A number of individuals in my writing have mentioned that they have received text messages or emails from individuals claiming to be from the CRA who are clearly not from the CRA, who are essentially extorting money from them, threatening criminal repercussions and or jail in some cases. As you can imagine, many of these individuals are elderly or vulnerable people. I wonder if that is something that has come to your attention, and if there are any measures in place at the moment to help Canadians deal with this troubling matter.
Thank you for the question, Mr. Chair. I would say, yes, this issue has come to our attention quite a few times in terms of the scams as they are out there and affecting people, and lots of us, I have received them myself. And so what are we doing about it? We're certainly concerned, and we have tried to institute programs of education, awareness, to alert people to the fact that there are these scams out there, what they can do, who they can report it to. And there have been some successes, not as many as I would like in terms of finding the perpetrators, but we need to just be ever vigilant. And it's a concern to me because one of the foundations for us at the agency is trust and confidence. And Canadians have to have trust and confidence in us. And anytime there's one of these calls, it just causes doubts in the minds of people. And we need to try to do everything we can to assure them that we are trying to protect their interests. We are trying to track down where we find some inappropriate behavior, but it's difficult and it's complex, and we have to keep at it. I would just say from our perspective as well, we have systems where we try to call people to deal with issues that they've raised, and even just affecting that person when they get a call from the CRA. They don't know, is it is it a scammer, is it not? So it has some real practical implications for us as well. So we are just trying to continue to ramp up as best we can education, awareness, and alert the proper authorities so that we can get on top of it.
Thank you, Mr. Hamilton. On the topic of ramping up, you mentioned in your opening remarks that there was an increase of $110 million for measures to crack down and combat tax evasion, tax avoidance, enhanced tax collections. Later in your statement, you mentioned an increase of $29 million to improve general tax compliance. I wonder if you could perhaps explain to the committee some of the new initiatives that that are being created thanks to this new funding, or some of the measures that you feel that would help Canadians and your work at the CRA thanks to this funding.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just to highlight a couple of things, and again, maybe I'll ask Ted if he wants to add anything that I forget, but certainly the resources that we've been given in this area are very helpful to us in a number of ways. One, we can hire more auditors to ensure that we have people that can look into these cases on a risk-based risk-assessed basis. And so there's a people dimension, and making sure that those people have the right skills that are needed to be able to look at some of these complex transactions, understand them, and figure out the right tax outcome. There's also a technology component to this, that as we move forward and with technology developing, there are different tools that can be used to analyze data. And we have a lot of data at the CRA, and what we're trying to do is have the right people and the right technology available to assess that data and point us to areas where there might be higher risks than others. And at the end of the day, that's a big issue for us at the CRA, to make sure that we are doing a good job of assessing risks and putting resources in those places where they can be most helpful.